This is Rick Vogler. Rick is both a hazard control manager and has worked with law enforcement agencies for 20 years as both a part-time police officer and self-defense instructor.
Take a person who's in a conflict state of mind, who's being verbally aggressive, not to the point of physically aggressive, but verbally aggressive, agitated and worked up, and you can take them and you can use empathy and other aspects of logic and reason in order to de-escalate that person and to guide them to where you actually want them to be. De-escalation is an amazing tool simply because it works on anyone, anytime, anywhere, as long as you follow some very basic tenets to it. And that's what makes it kind of difficult, but at the same time, once you master it, it becomes almost second nature. The very first thing is, there's three very difficult things that you got to do. The very first one of them is you have to learn how to be quiet. Listen carefully. Don't just listen to hear, listen to understand and interpret so that you can respond appropriately. They will tell you what the problem is. Now, after I've done all that stuff, now I'm ready to interject. Always start with a good paraphrase. Generally, what I say is I follow this set of statements. Let me see if I understand you correctly. By saying just that, it tells them that I heard them and I want to make sure I understand. So let me see if I understand you correctly. You feel this emotion because of this situation. Is that correct? Now, at that point, all they can truly respond back with is, yes, that's correct. No, the emotion isn't right, or no, the feeling isn't right, or no, both of those are right, are not right. It narrows down what they can argue about. After we've done that, now we can sit around and talk about stuff. So let me see if I understand you correctly. You feel upset because you're feeling overwhelmed. Is that correct? And then from there, now we can use logic and reasoning to bring them back. One other thing, when I am speaking, when I'm saying, I appreciate what you're saying, I understand what you're saying. When you're speaking, do this. When they're speaking, or nothing. So I can understand why you might feel that way. I can truly hear what you're trying to say. Yeah, I can see why you might feel that way. And as you notice, as I'm shaking my head up and down, what's your overwhelming desire to do as well? Shake your head up and down as well. What I'm doing is I'm subconsciously bringing you over to my way of thinking. So after I've done that, now I can open up and I can ask them whether or not they're going to agree or disagree with me, whether they will confirm what I believe. Generally, there's about 5 things. First things first, you're going to set your options for the person. You're going to present your options, and then you're going to confirm with them whether or not they understand or they don't understand. And then if you tell someone you're going to do something, always act through on that, because that keeps your credibility where your credibility needs to be. You have to understand that if it feels good, don't say it. Think back to some of the arguments you've had in the past where it's been very emotional, it's been very heated, and you get to that point where you're upset and you just tell them whatever it is. You just blah, and you give it to them. And they get that wide-eyed look that I can't believe you just said that. And you've possibly destroyed that relationship, destroyed that friendship. But the reason we say those things is because we are operating on an emotional level. So if the very first thing is, if it feels good, don't say it, the next thing you have to remember is equally as hard, which is stay calm. No matter what is said, stay calm. And a lot of times when I start talking about this stuff with other people, they're like, well, wait a second. It's an argument. Are you supposed to stay? How do you stay calm in an argument? Well, here's the reason you can stay calm. When you are having an argument with a person, or when a person comes in and they're upset with you, whether it be because of money, whether it be because of a power struggle between you or them, whether it be because of a relationship issue, and that's generally the big 3 things that cause fights: money, power, and relationships. When you recognize what it is that's actually causing the issue, which you can quickly learn is a lot of times you're not the problem. You aren't the actual problem. Don't get mad. The person who gets mad always loses. Think about an argument. And a person walks up to you and they start screaming and yelling at you and getting really upset with you. They're way up here. And if I want to match them, I have to jump in at their level. Well, now we're way up here. If they're going to be upset and I'm yelling at them, They're going to try to outpace me, so they got to take it up a level. And then I have to match them again. We got to take it up and take it up and take it up and take it up. Next thing you know, we're way up in the clouds fighting and arguing over things that probably don't even need to be fought or argued over. So if I have a person who's way up here and I come into the argument right here and I stay calm, I stay here. Person screams and yells some more, I stay here. They come down, I stay here. They calm down, I stay here. They calm down. And after a few minutes, instead of people screaming and yelling at each other, we have two people just talking.